President Trump is ramping up ICE raids after his promise to deport millions of undocumented immigrants. Tomorrow, roughly 2,000 family members in as many as 10 cities are being targeted for arrests and deportation. Joining me now is former CEO for the DNC, Jess O'Connell, also the former executive director of Emily's List, and Boston Herald radio host Adriana Cohen, a nationally syndicated columnist, is back with us. Adriana, first question to you. Are political motivations driving this?
Not at all. We have a major crisis at the border. It's a humanitarian crisis that the president is trying desperately to solve each and every day with little to no cooperation from the Democrats. And so he needs to do something about the fact that just last month, over 144,000 illegal immigrants were apprehended at the border. That's totally incredibly high. Our officials on the ground certainly are not prepared for that. They're understaffed. They don't have enough resources to handle that type of influx. And so the president needs to do something about it. And so deporting illegal immigrants is part of that process to finally addressing this major crisis we're dealing with.
Now, Jess, what do you make of the advance notice of these raids?
Well, yeah, there's advance notice precisely because this is political. Of course, this is political. President Trump started his campaign for president in 2015 by attacking immigrants, by attacking Mexico, by talking about a wall, by talking about the types of people that come here as immigrants, and in a disparaging way. And so it's no surprise that in the week that he launches his re-election campaign, he's flexing. He's beefing up his rhetoric again around immigrants. And I do agree that, look, there is work to be done on immigration. We have challenges around immigration, and this requires a bipartisan solution. But these raids where we're ripping families apart, where we're going after people that don't pose a clear and present danger to the country and to Americans here, that's not the way to go about it. And obviously these detention centers where children are being harmed and they're in deplorable conditions is outrageous. And so we need Congress to step up. We need Republicans and Democrats to come together and start to forge towards a solution. That's what Americans expect. It's what we deserve. And it's what immigrants deserve, too. They deserve an opportunity to come to this country through legal means. And we ought to be doing that work right now.
Now, Adriana, the Washington Post is reporting that the acting DHS Secretary, Kevin McAleenan, has warned that indiscriminate operation to arrest migrants in their homes and at work sites actually risks separating children from their parents in cases where the children are at daycare or summer camp or staying at a friend's house. He has also maintained that ICE should not devote major resources to carrying out a mass interior sweep while telling lawmakers it needs emergency funding to address the crisis at the U.S. border. So does he have a point?
He does make some valid points. But first off, I just want to respond to something Jess said. You know, Jess, was it political when President Obama deported over 2 million illegal immigrants? No one accused him of breaking up families and held him to account for that. And the second thing I might add is that this rapid DNA testing that DHS is doing at the border right now has revealed that 30% of the immigrant families are fraudulent. They are not related. In fact, you have coyotes who are renting children to illegal immigrant adults to pretend that they're a family. And so that's a major problem that is currently happening. But that being said, doing these types of raids will present certain problems because there's mixed immigration status. So you could have a family where the parents perhaps are here illegally, but the children are U.S. citizens.
Adriana,
so it remains to be seen how that's going to happen.
I do want to give Jess a chance to respond here to what you said. Quickly, Jess, what do you think?
Yeah, look, we need to invest money and time and resources in a legal pathway to citizenship. That includes more judges at the border. That includes a better process. That's been true for every administration going forward. We need a plan for immigration in this country that ensures that America is a welcoming country and that allows for immigration and diversity that makes our country great. And that work needs to get done. But this is not the way to do it. This is not something that the American people support, ripping apart families, separating children. And these one-off examples where people aren't related, this is simply not true. These people are coming here for a better life, and we ought to figure out a process that makes sense.
Jess O'Connell
and
Adriana Cohen, I am so
false?
sorry. We got to wrap up this discussion. I know there's a lot more to say here, but I'd like to thank you both so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Joe Biden versus Cory Booker, the latest